Hi guys, here's another page in my pocket page notebook, this time using this brand new stamp set from Kelly Stamps. It's released today called Crap Day, and there could not have been a more appropriate stamp set for this day. I took this photo right before I started working on this page because I had this super bad headache all day and was just feeling over it. So I decided that I would put a page in my notebook about it because I do suffer from headaches a lot, but lately they have been much better. Well, previously they had been much better, and lately they've just come back with a vengeance. So it definitely needed a page in the book. Plus it was just a little bit of therapy, I guess, to get out some of that frustration. So I picked a piece of paper out of that brand new Moonstruck 6x6 pad that I got in my recent haul, and then I'm just choosing one of these ombre inks from Hero Arts, picking the one that goes best with the paper. And I didn't think it would be this one, but once I swatched them it wasn't as pink as it looked on the cover, so I'm going to use that. And I'm going to use this as a blah stamp because it's exactly how I was feeling, and I'm going to do some repeat stamping. So like I said, at the time I was still suffering from this headache, so I think there's no reason that you can't craft when you aren't feeling great, but maybe don't try anything too super adventurous. I know what works for me. I know that repeat stamping is easy and I like the way it looks, and I'm not likely to feel unhappy with the results, so that's what I'm going with. Just to mix it up a tiny bit today, I am using all three of the different colours in the ombre ink pad, and you could replicate this look with three different coloured inks. You don't need to use an ombre pad at all, and I'm just randomly choosing the colours to stamp with. I've saved you having to watch all of it, so you can see here it just gives a really subtle effect. The whole page is one colour, it's all still pink, but it just has that little bit of textural difference in it. In fact, you could probably do the same thing by like double stamping. If you stamped once and then stamped straight away with the same ink without re-inking it, you'd probably get quite a similar effect. So that's basically my left side, and on the right side here I'm going to use the paper that I picked out, and of course it's pink. Like I said, when you're feeling bad you just go with what works for you, and pink works for me. I know I'm going to like it when it's done. Just want to anchor the bottom of this page, so I just cut a little strip of the paper off the bottom, and I'm just going to glue that down to the bottom of my page. So this right hand side is the paper side of my pocket page notebook, and the left side is the pocket, so that's what I'm going to slip my stamping piece into. And then I'm going to create, well, it's not going to be a topper I guess, but I'm going to use, and actually I really liked this, I used this black and grey ombre ink pad from Hero Arts, which I don't think I've ever used before, and the black is excellent. It's an excellent black dye ink, so I might see if I can grab myself just a black ink pad, but for now the ombre one works nicely. And so I've just stamped one of these phrases onto the same paper and trimmed it out, and that's going to be like a header for my journaling on this side. So I'm going to glue that down onto the page, and I'm just trying to line it up, well, not roughly, I'm trying to line it up with the top of the photo on the left so that it sort of has that line across the top of the page. And you'll see me go back and forward to this stamp set several times while I'm working on this page, because so far I've used 2 stamps and it just didn't seem like enough. Like, I was feeling really crap, and so I just wanted to use all of the phrases that really expressed how I was feeling. So this is definitely one. Oh, come on. So again, I'm just stamping that onto that same paper, and I'm gonna stick this onto the left side here, and that gives me 3 pieces of this paper, which I quite like, that sort of visual triangle of it. That's what I was hoping for. And there's, where I've stuck that little paper down, there's a bit of black t-shirt in my photo, so I'm using some white ink to stamp one more of the little phrases there. Ugh, exactly. And then I will just slip that into the pocket. It just keeps it out of my road while I do some more work on my right hand side. So I do want to add one more stamp above that piece that I've used. It's not even really the title yet. Like I say, I had a headache. I didn't know where this was going. I just kept adding to it slowly as I went. What I do want to add is some journaling, and probably more journaling than you usually see me do. And when I do just small amounts of journaling, I'm not super concerned about writing straight or anything like that. When I'm doing a lot of journaling like this, I hate by the time I get to the end of the page, I'm always off center, and so to solve that, I'm just doing a few little light pencil lines with a ruler just to give me some guidelines for where I can do my journaling, and to make sure that by the time I get to the bottom of the page, I'm still in alignment with the words at the top of the page. So I'll just very quickly fill in my journaling here. As you can see, much longer than usual. And once you've finished your journaling, you've got two options with this. You can either make sure your pen is dry and go ahead and erase those pencil lines, or like I'm doing here, I'm just going over them really fairly roughly, loose-handedly with the pen, just to give it a bit more of a hand-drawn look. And it also makes that block of journaling just a little bit darker, which is what I wanted it. I didn't want it to be floating over on that side. And that's when I decided, after I'd done my journaling, that the most appropriate stamp and probably title for this page is over it, because I really am. But now, because I've added that really dark stamp down the bottom, I need to balance that out a little bit because it does just stand out. So there is this little stamp, little block stamp that says OFFS, which is also appropriate, and I've just stamped that straight over top of my stamping on the left hand side. And now I've still got I've got two bits of these sort of darker stamps, and I really need something to balance it out on the top there, but there wasn't another stamp that I wanted to use. So instead I grabbed some of these enamel shapes, again from my recent haul. If you haven't seen that, I'll link it up the top. And I'm gonna add these little arrows. Well, they're triangles, but when I flipped them around to see if they worked really nicely as arrows, and that balances out my page really well, and so I'm all done. I'm reasonably convinced that just about every one of us is going to need this stamp set, so I would head over to Kelly Stamps and grab it, because I'm pretty sure this is going to sell out quick. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to keep watching, there's a couple more videos on screen. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye!